crowd is hot today. The crowd is super loud today. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. My name is Roman. I'm your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. It's Friday. Had a little fun today, and enjoy the process of watching our savings grow. Okay. The topic for today is, are you sick of living paycheck to paycheck? If so, all you gotta do is this. I'm gonna show you what to do, okay, in this episode. So let's get things kicked off with the first segment of the evening. We like to call that segment the Bitcoin Strength. See if it's up. Yes, today the price of Bitcoin is $117,567.50. That is the price of Bitcoin today. Right now you can buy 850 Satoshis for a single dollar. What is a Satoshi? A Satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin, just like a dollar is made up of 100 cents. A Bitcoin is made up of 100 million Satoshis. Okay, so you stack Satoshis, stack fractions of a Bitcoin, and you'll eventually get to one Bitcoin. All right. Let's say you're walking down the street minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all the day that penny will be worth, right now, 8.5 Satoshis. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. That is the Bitcoin strength on a Friday. Today, you know, hanging out, buying Bitcoin, doing what we can to continue our stacking, continue to get closer and closer to one Bitcoin here on the show. That is our goal. You know what? Let me move this little thing right, because it's interacting with my shirt. This one. Let's put that right there so my shirt doesn't block it. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Here on the show, we're getting pretty close to 0.4 Bitcoin. That is on our way to one whole Bitcoin. We're making our way to it. We're getting there slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race, I guess. Okay, let's talk about the next topic of the show. Actually, we're going to talk about why we stack. In the why we stack segment, we're going to cover the headline of the show today, which is, are you sick of living paycheck to paycheck? Do this. Okay. All right. So let's introduce that segment and get things going. Why we stack? What up, everybody? Welcome back. So why do we stack? Why do we save in Bitcoin? And how does that help you get rid of that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle? How to get rid of the rat race? How to get out of the rat race? How to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Okay. In order to understand how to stop living paycheck to paycheck, you have to understand why you're living paycheck to paycheck. Okay. And it's not because you're not working hard enough. Well, maybe it is, right? It's not because you're not saving. It's because if you're saving and you're working hard enough, but maybe you're not getting paid a pay raise every year, a pay raise that can keep up with inflation, that is, right? Because if you look at the real rate of inflation, it's closer to 10%. So if you're not getting a 10% raise every year at work, your salary, even though it hasn't gone down, it might even have gone up 3 or 4%, right? You're still not beating inflation, so you're still getting poorer and poorer. You're still making less and less money, even though you're making more physical dollars. Those dollars can purchase less things, 10% less things in that year. So if you're only getting a 3 or 4% raise, you can see how you are getting poorer, right? Your salary is not going to be enough. Okay, so that's part of the reason why you're living paycheck to paycheck. On top of that, whatever money you set aside and save for the long term, so that you can have retirement money or just money that you're saving up for a down payment on a house, for a car, for a bicycle, whatever, for a bicycle, right? That money that you set aside, that savings, is constantly being debased by the system, and you will never have the purchase. I mean, you might, if you save fast enough, eventually have the enough money to buy whatever it is you're going to buy, down payment, a house, car, whatever. But you're basically fighting against you're swimming uphill. You're swimming uphill in a waterfall, right? Because no matter how fast you work, how many jobs you get, how many side hustles you do, you're not going to be able to print. You're not going to be able to beat the printer, okay? You're not going to out-earn the rate at which they can print money, okay? And that's basically inflation right there. You can't beat inflation. You can beat it maybe for a couple of months, right? If you do extra side hustles and you're making 10% more on your job every year, then maybe, right? But for the most part, the dollar can purchase you less and less things the longer you hold it, okay? So when you save in dollars, you're guaranteeing that you're going to be on the mouse wheel. You're guaranteeing that you'll be living paycheck to paycheck, because that value that you're working so hard for is constantly being debased. That's already after you pay taxes on it and all that. You're still getting, your savings are continually being taxed by inflation. Okay. So what's the best way to get around that? What do you do to prevent that? Okay. So you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Well, it's super simple. You start saving in Bitcoin. Okay. You start saving the amount that you're already doing. You're already saving part of your salary for your long-term goal, whether it's for a house, a car, or whatever. And you take that money, and instead of saving it in dollars that are debasing and losing your purchasing power, you save it in Bitcoin. It's that easy. Save it in Bitcoin, and you hold it for the longest possible. A minimum of 4 years, I would say, right? And you watch the purchasing power of your savings go up relative to the dollar, and it's incredible. It's amazing. For us on the show, it's gone up 113% already, right? Our savings, the purchasing power of our savings are up 113%. And I'm gonna show you that right now in a little segment we call the stack recap. But that is cool. You know, it's really cool. That all I had to do to increase the purchasing power of my savings was buy Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, and that's it. Right? I didn't have to take on an extra job or anything like that to double the value of my savings. It's pretty cool. All right. So let's get into that now, actually. Let's jump into the stack recap so I can show you guys what we've been doing. Stack recap, because we don't only talk about stacking Bitcoin here Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. We actually do it every weekday. And here is our proof that we've been doing this for at least 2 years. Okay. Here it is. In 2025, we started from zero Satoshis, from zero Bitcoin. We saved up. We bought $20 buys every weekday. Boom, boom, boom. On days when the price of Bitcoin was below our average buy price for 2025, we would buy $40 stacks. And on days when the price of Bitcoin was below that, the lowest purchase we've made in 2025, we do $80 stacks. Look at that, 80, 80, 40, 40, 20, 20, right? And whenever the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price for that year in this case, 97,000, we just buy $20. So we've been buying a lot of $20 buys recently, but so far we've saved $4,460 into Bitcoin, and that's gotten us 0.04744777 Bitcoin. That Bitcoin today is worth $5,885, and that's just in the span of 7 months and 18 days. Okay, we're up 25%. Another way to look at this is to say the price is to say that it takes me 25% more dollars to buy the same amount of Bitcoin today, because the dollars can purchase less things. The dollars are getting weaker, so I need more of the weaker money to buy the same stuff. Okay, this is our stack for 2024 only. So this is where we Again, started from 0 Bitcoin and purchased about $20 a pop. We did the same thing. Price of Bitcoin is below our average buy price for that year. We buy $40. If it's the lowest we've seen that whole year, then we buy $80. Okay, but that whole year we saved up $7,345, and again, we accumulated 0.122422217 Bitcoin, and that is actually worth what's it worth now? There it is, $14,412. It's about doubled, right? It's about doubled. And so that's what I mean when I say, how do you escape the paycheck to paycheck? Well, you start saving in Bitcoin, right? You start saving in Bitcoin. You continue to do what you're already doing. You're already doing the hardest part. The hardest part, in my opinion, when it comes to saving money is generating the revenue, is having the discipline to go to work and have a job and make money with a little bit of a surplus, a little bit more than you need to live. And you take that little bit more than you needed to live and you put that into Bitcoin. And next thing you know, the thing that you seemed like it wasn't that big of a deal, like it's just $20, it's just $5, whatever you can do, ends up becoming something significant, right? Like my $7,000 worth of savings that I did in 2024 have now turned into $14,000 worth of savings. Is that significant? I don't know. You tell me. Would that be significant in your life for somebody to just come by and say, hey, guess what? If you can save $7,000 today, in a year, I can say that it'll be worth $14,000. Like that's pretty awesome, right? That's pretty awesome. Okay. And then if you look at the whole lifespan of our show, we've been doing our show since May 22nd, 2023. And we've saved $15,289 through the process of doing this show. Going live Monday through Friday and saving in Bitcoin. $5, then we did $10, now we're doing $20 buys. But still, we got up to $15,000 in savings. And today, that $15,000 in savings that we put into Bitcoin, so 0.277166620 Bitcoin, is worth $32,650, right? It's up 113.54%, right? What did I have to do in order to turn my $15,000 worth of savings into $32,000? I didn't have to do anything, right? Same way as if you would have saved that $15,000 into your bank account, it would be actually worth less because you're probably going to get maybe you'll get 1% interest on your savings at a normal bank, maybe, but that 1% interest on a normal bank doesn't even cover the loss that is inflation. If inflation is at 10% and you're getting 1% interest on your savings, then you're still losing 9% of your purchasing power, right? Well, here, let's say that in the past 2 years, our Bitcoin has grown at 113%. Whatever, we subtract 10% for the first year and 10% for the second year. We're still ahead, right? We're still ahead by 90%. Our money still grew 90% more than it would have if it was just sitting in a savings account, right? And it took the same amount of work to take the money of my earnings and put it into a savings account than it did to take the additional money from my savings and put it into a Bitcoin account, right? It's the same amount of work, but you get 113% returns on one and minus 9%. No, in this case, minus 18% returns on those 2 years, right? Because you're losing 10% each year, and your interest was 1%. So I'm gonna give you that 1%, and you're still losing 9% year over year, minus 9% growth, or plus 113% growth over 2 years. What do you think is better? And if you can't answer that question, I'm sorry. Maybe I can't help you. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can't help you. Maybe you're beyond help. At least beyond help for me. But maybe someone else can explain it to you, right? But that's the way it goes. Okay. We've done other things here on the show that include reclaimed Bitcoin. For example, we've sold things around my house that I don't think I need anymore, right? Like this, the mixer, KitchenAid mixer. I bought it for like $250. I sold it for $250. I stacked that $250, and now that stack of 0.0042 Bitcoin is worth $497. So I pretty much doubled the money that I sold it at, right? This Pelican case that somebody gave me for free that I never really used, I sold it for $93 on OfferUp, and I stacked the $93 immediately into Bitcoin when it was worth $56,640 Bitcoin. That $93 is now worth $193 because instead of holding the asset, instead of holding the physical thing, I decided to convert that physical thing into Satoshis, and I got 163,941 fractions of a Bitcoin, and that's currently worth $193. So see, I've sold $1,583 worth of stuff, and that stuff that I've sold and turned into Bitcoin immediately has already turned into $286 worth of value, right? It's grown by 50%. On average, you could technically say that I try and traveled back in time to renegotiate the deals with the people I sold those things to, and they had no choice but to pay me more for the things they already agreed on, right? I went back in time. I charged this guy who bought one of my graphics cards for $260. I went back in time and said, you know what? I know we agreed to meet here and you were going to pay me $260, but I changed my mind. You're going to pay me $312.92. And they had no choice but to say yes because they already said yes. The yes is already there. But the glitch here, the money glitch here, is that I took the value that they gave me for that graphics card, and I converted it into something that's going to continue to increase in purchasing power over time. And so therefore, as the price of Bitcoin goes up, that person paid me more and more for that graphics card that they already bought a long time ago, back in 2024. It's pretty cool, huh? It's pretty cool the way that works. So where are we? Here. 21 Moto project, boom. 70% up on the 21 Moto project. And I'm not going to go into details on this one for today, but we'll just leave it at that. Satwise Jack's in the house. What up, Satwise? Hey, Satwise, I saw your donation yesterday after the show ended, so I'm going to put that up today. Where are we at? Oh, yes. The 100-day Bitcoin savings challenge. We have 46 days left and still going strong, buying Bitcoin daily for 100 days. And that stack is already up more than expected, right? We've saved $1,767 and it's currently worth $1,938 for a gain of 9.7% in the past, 54 days of saving. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. So now that since Satwise is here, let's add this donation to the show. Ooh, how much was this one? Shoot. I didn't check how much it was. Let's do the math on this one real quick. Okay. So 0.1234521 times 119.919.42 equals 25 cents? No, that's not right. Is that right? It is. Damn, dude, 210 Satoshis is almost 25 cents. That's crazy. It is. It is, isn't it? Oh man, that's so wild. That's so wild. I need to put this in here so I don't lose track of the timing. So here. We got, this was yesterday. 7, 18, 25. 7, 18, 25. What was the price of Bitcoin back then? 7. 717. 717. Just in a ballpark it. 717. There it is. July 17. It's up here. Right here. 16, 17. Okay, so we're about there. Okay, it's not bad, not bad. We'll just use this number. We'll say it's at 117.892.51. Okay. And then we got 0.000000210. 210 satoshis is so much now. I remember I used to give people 20. I used to give away 1,000 satoshis, and that was like 30 cents or like 20 cents, like 20 cents or something like that, right? That is wild. That is wild. Satoshis galore. Boom. And okay, so this makes it what? 0.1234567. Yep. Times 117.89252.51. 0.24. I'll make some. I'll make some 0. We'll round up. I'll make it 25 also. 25. But there it is, another dono to the show, and we're cataloging all of these. Was this also used stat-wise? Small 21st, yeah, 21 sat. Oh, is that right? Oh, you're right. That's correct. That's correct. Let's change that. Add one more 0 here. Okay, and that makes it. Ooh, it changed it. Makes it about 2 cents, but still, that's crazy to look at it that way. That's more than 2 cents. It's more than 2 cents. Let's see. 0.1234567 times 117.892.51 equals 0.24. That's good. We'll leave it 0.2. But still, that's amazing. The other one was me. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it changes from a non. At the end of the show, at the end of the stack, if you want your sats back, let me know. when we get to 1 Bitcoin, 1.000 33361 Bitcoin. Let me know if you want your sats back. Well, except for this one, and I think this might be another one over here somewhere. Anyway, but yeah, that's awesome. It's crazy to see how Bitcoin just works, right? And regardless of what's going on in the politics right now, I mean, as much as I like to watch politic videos and all that shenanigans, I'm coming to the realization. I kind of had this inkling before, but it doesn't matter what these politicians are doing at this point. Like, Bitcoin's already beyond it, you know? Like, it's still 21 million. There's still a block being minted every 10 minutes. And it appears that nobody can change that, which is the whole point, right? Which is the whole point. So let's just enjoy the pump. I don't even know how else to explain it to anybody, you know? Like, I spend a lot of time trying to figure out new ways to orange pill people and to try to help them understand the opportunity that is in Bitcoin. but it becomes like a bit of a drain, honestly. To have people you think need this second guess you and quote like FUD that's been debunked years ago, you know? And it's just like sometimes I just feel like saying, you know what? Forget it, dude. Do what you want. Do what you want. Go ahead and save an XRP. Go ahead and buy that or other trash coins. And you know, it just sucks that you can't go with me on my next trip because you're broke. That sounds so sad. That sounds so mean, right? I just wish all my friends and everybody I enjoy hanging out with would be in Bitcoin, so that so I'm not the only one with the boat down the road, right? So we can take turns taking other people's boats, so we can go do fun stuff together without me having to pay for everything. Right? I don't know. It's hard to explain. You guys probably understand where I'm coming from, though. Yeah. And then at what point do you give up? At what point do you give up on those people? Oops. At what point do you give up trying to orange pill a friend, a family member? The spreadsheet's right there. It's showing you that we're up 113%. And you're still trying to talk about XRP or how Bitcoin might be crashing soon. It's like, come on. Are you not? You don't see the numbers? You know, like I don't know. Still trying to have a diversified portfolio of stocks and bonds. Losing your money hand over fist, losing your purchasing power hand over fist, right? Still trying to save up for like a rental unit. Still trying to save up to have a forever lease on some property that you'll never own, and that you'll always have to pay taxes on, and that you'll always have to, no matter what, like every year you have to pay taxes on, and insurance on, right? And taxes and insurance don't go down. They're always going up. And you still have to repair that place. Right? That's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't know how many charts you come up with. I think it gets to the point where people are just not ready to hear it yet. Right? And yeah, I don't know. Should we change angle on this show and become more toxic? Not necessarily so beginner friendly. Maybe. I don't know. I get fatigued orange pilling people. When I was hanging out with Tone Vise last month, he told me that he doesn't bother anymore. He doesn't talk about it on his channel anymore. Geopolitics and diving. There you go. That's probably, I mean, that guy would know, right? That guy would know. He knows from experience, and he's a content creator. And by the way, he's got this really awesome, I don't know if he put it together on his own or if he did it with a bunch of friends, but the Rip to Baja ride that they do to Mexico, that thing is amazing. I love the production value on that. That looks super fun. Rip to Baja. No, Rip to Cabo, I think so. Rip to Cabo. He and Max and Stacy were the first YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Right? It gets to the point, I guess, when you're kind of just like, okay, you threw your bag of tricks, you did what you can, you try to educate the masses, you did what you could. Like, obviously, my attempts have not been as successful as those guys, right? But we do what we can. We try. You know, if we orange pilled one or two people along the way, we're winning, guys. We're winning. Another block was just found. block 906,139 of the Bitcoin time chain. It's good, right? Slow and steady. Okay. I watched this dude on the internet just give away Bitcoin. I don't know if he actually gave it away. I never actually saw somebody receive it, but he claims to give away Bitcoin every block. He's got a big wheel here where he puts people's names on the wheel, and man, he gets a viewership, right? He gets a viewership, and a lot of the time he's just reading comments, and I was like, man, am I trying too hard? Am I trying too hard by showing the actual purchases, the actual process of stacking? Am I doing it wrong? Am I doing it wrong? I like how Jack Mallers uses blocks time to date his YouTube channel. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. That's true. That's true. I mean, it is its own clock, right? It is its own time. Crazy. All right, so today we still have to do the purchase for today, and let's see if we can get that sorted out. Okay. How much? Where are we at today? Of course, the price of Bitcoin is well above our average buy price for 2025. So today's purchase is going to be for $20. And now that we know how much Bitcoin we're going to buy, there's only one thing left to do. Stack some Bitcoin, baby. Oh, I got to put the screen up. It's time to stack some Bitcoin. All right. Coming back to the main screen here. And going to the Strike app. Boom. Hitting buy. Keying in $20 once again. $20 worth of Bitcoin here on the Stack Bitcoin Show on the Friday Stack. Friday Stack. Okay, switching my payment method to my bank. Cut the music. Drum roll, please. Hit confirm. And here we go, buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now live during the Stack Bitcoin Show. We do this every Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard, 5 p.m. Eastern. Join us. Hit the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. There it is. Successfully acquired an additional 16,773 Satoshis to the stack. And let's put this into the spreadsheet, boys. For 2025. Let's see, where are we at? Right here. 18, 25. The price of Bitcoin we deserve today is $118,106.48 Bitcoin. We bought $20 worth. We got 0.00016773. And yeah. Oops. That didn't look right. And just like that, we've stacked for today. Okay. Let's we're gonna keep the show going. And we're gonna do I don't know what we're gonna do after this, but we're gonna keep the show rolling. Okay. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. I get it. Okay. We're gonna take this show till about 2:45 or 3, depending on what we can do. Because part of it, I think we're not on the air long enough for the alerts to go out and get to the right people. I think. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll try that today. But there it is. The purchase has been made and it's been added to the reserve. And now we are Ooh, 0.0024454 away from 0.4 Bitcoin. We had a big jump last night because I finally added the buys that I've done for the 100 days of Bitcoin buying. So that took us down to $287.97 away from getting to 0.4 BTC. 0.4 BTC. Crazy. All right. That is the bulk of the show. That is the stacking portion of the show completed. Stacking portion of the show accomplished. Let's pop this over to the Q&A section of the show for some questions and some answers. Also, I'm gonna do a little bit of browsing real quick while you guys are on, trying to see if there's any new Bitcoin memes out there that I want to check out. I guess we could talk about the bill passed today, right? The Genius Act. We'll see how that affects everything. Bitcoin is at 118,000. And how close are we to all-time high again? All-time high is at 123,000. Okay, so we're quite a ways. Kind of a ways. How much is that? We are 4%. That's not a lot for Bitcoin. 4%. How do you think this act is going to affect the price of Bitcoin? How do you think it's going to affect inflation? Right. I think we're going to end up having a lot more printing happening, a lot more debasement, which would mean that you'd have to, which would make the thesis even stronger to continue to save in Bitcoin. If the money continues to get debased, and it's going to get debased even harder now that all these institutions are able to make stable coins, like the money supply is going to expand, right? It's inflationary, right? And if on top of that, the orange guy ends up getting rid of Powell or convincing him to cut rates, that's like sugar for the economy, right? That's like a bunch of extra disembowel Powell from the Fed. Yeah, if you remove him from the Fed and get somebody in there that's going to cut the rate, man, we're going to have so much inflation, right? And maybe Bitcoin will get to $1 million, but you're not going to want Bitcoin at $1 million if that's the case, right? You're not gonna want it to go to $1 million because that means that everything else is lost. I mean, not for yourself. I mean, you wouldn't want that because of how it's going to affect everybody else, right? Like if Bitcoin goes to $1 million because of all this extra printing, and then they come and a rate cut, right? Bitcoin's going to reflect that the dollar is losing purchasing power even harder, so then Bitcoin's going to go up, right? But if you have Bitcoin go up that high to like $1 million in a short time span, that means that the dollar is basically hyperinflating, right? Gonna see 28 years later, maybe it's a little glimpse into the future. Yeah, right. Have you seen that before, Hard Huddle? It's one of my favorite movies, dude. It's one of my favorite movies. That was 28 Days Later came out before The Walking Dead. And the beginning of 24 of The Walking Dead is pretty much a ripoff of 28 Days Later. Yeah, that movie is legit, dude. It's one of my favorite movies. It's intense. It's intense. Another movie I like that it's kind of it's post-apocalyptic, I guess you could say, is Children of Men. That's a good one too. Children of Men. Have you seen that one? If you're into those kind of movies, I think you'll like that one too. It's really cool. What else? Here's the good movies. There's a movie out there that I watched because it had Bitcoin in the, like I mentioned Bitcoin in the movie. And I forget what it's called. It's called like something about gold. It was like I wouldn't say it's like a AAA production. It's kind of like almost like a B flick. Gold movie. Gold movie where they find it's just called Gold. Duh. The movie's called Gold. It came out in 2022, and it's about this guy who these dudes who discover. Anyway, you gotta go watch it. It's called Gold, but it's like post-apocalyptic. Everybody's kind of like struggling for water and just resources. And when these guys are on like this on this commute over the radio, you could hear like the news, and the news says like Bitcoin reaches, and it's like some crazy number, right? I think it's like, what is it? I forget. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's I found it. Here it is. I'm gonna play it for you. I'm gonna play it for you guys real quick. Turn this off. Since we're out here messing around, it's a Friday, boys. It's a Friday. Hang out, pull up a chair, grab yourself a drink. We're talking about Bitcoin stuff and Bitcoin stuff only. Okay? Some politics, I guess, a little bit. Some poop talking. But right now we're talking about this movie. Let's see. Where'd it go? Can I stop the music? I'm gonna put this up here, see if we can watch full screen. Will it let me? Oh yeah, it will. Aha. All right, here we go. Screen. Turn it up.
Bitcoin is currently trading at $1.25 million US. Leading charity crypto coin Avatar Invicta distributed another $1 billion in aid to the Northern Territory. Bitcoin is currently trading at $1.25 million US.
$1.25 million. Oops, that's what Bitcoin is trading at according to the movie. So I make a reference to Bitcoin in the movie. This movie has nothing to do with Bitcoin. But I watched it because I saw this clip, and it's just like some background noise of in the car while they're in this commute. It has nothing to do with the actual movie, but it's like, oh, Bitcoin is up to 1.25 million. 1.25 million. Dang, let's go, son. That's good, right? All right, put this music back on. It's wild. And since we're on Reddit, let's go to the Reddit pages and look for Bitcoin questions asked by Redditors. Okay. See if I can switch my account or something. Okay, can I go incognito mode or something? Okay, we'll just go. Oh yeah, we can go incognito mode. Let's answer some Reddit questions. Some Reddit Bitcoin questions. Dun dun dun. From the Bitcoin. This is how. There it is. From the r/Bitcoin thread. I can answer some questions. I'll put it up here so we can scroll through. This is kind of funny. Okay, we're gonna scroll through some Reddit posts and see what's up. Nightbot's putting in work today, huh? Dang. I need to tune back the Nightbot on those ads, bro. All right, here we go. Not browser. We're looking at the screen. There it is. Let's move me over here somewhere. we have Jamie Dimon looking into the window, and the quote is, "Should have bought some. Should have bought some Bitcoin, broski. Should have bought some Bitcoin." Let's see. Worst financial decision of my life. Sold 1.03 BTC September 29th, 2016. Yes, that is a bad decision. Officially. Look at this. The amount of Bitcoin you need to retire depends on the country you live in. Bitcoin needed to retire in 2035. Let's watch it. Let's open this. Boom. Okay, this is thanks to this is over on Reddit on the R Bitcoin thread. Okay, these are the countries and your current age. Let's say my current age is 45 because I'm 44, but my current age is 45, so middle of the pack right there. And where am I? I am in the United States. Where is it? Oh, there it is. United States. You need less than 1 Bitcoin to retire in 2035. That correlates with the Win Moon website, right? Let's say you are already in your 55. That's this line, dude. Pretty much, unless you're 75, you can get away. Oh, pretty much. No. Yeah, even if you're 75, if you have 1 Bitcoin, you'll be able to retire in 2035 according to this chart. Dang. Jamie 1.5. Wait, no, 5 BTC. Is that right? Oh yeah. You're right. It's backwards. You're right. It's backwards. Yeah, the long. Yeah. It's backwards. Sorry. Good catch, Hard Hodl. Good catch. So United States, you would need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 8 Bitcoin. No, it's backwards. So no, it's, yeah, you're right. It's like 2 Bitcoin. Between 1 and 2 Bitcoin, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's backwards. So yeah, you would need about less than 2 Bitcoin. Right? Look at these places over here. It's wild. Is Mexico in here? Mexico's here. Like in Mexico, if you have, man, 0.2 Bitcoin or what's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, is that? Yeah, 7% inflation adjusted Bitcoin price model, 5th percentile power regression. That's pretty cool. That's a cool little chart. That's a cool little chart. Crazy. Dang. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's check out some more stuff. First rule of Bitcoin is you never sell your Bitcoin. I know, right? I keep seeing posts on this thread where people are just like, "Oh, I sold my Bitcoin," or like, "I just bought a house I just put a down payment on a house. I sold 2 Bitcoins and I put that as a down payment on a house." And I was like, "You dummy!" Right? This is why we Bitcoin. They print $8 trillion, gave you 1,400, sent the rest to their friends, and left you with inflation. Boom. Oh, they're just some memes at this point. I'm buying as many Bitcoins as I can, and then sell at a profit. You're gonna take profit, right? Nope. These are pretty old. Here we go. This one. That's so sad. So sad. Had to sell everything today. $258,000. Right? So if you sell right away, depending on when you got it, right, you're gonna have to pay capital gains tax on that. Right? So capital gains, there goes 30 or 40% of your profits instantly goes to the government. Boom. Thank you. Right? Congrats on the house. Start stacking again. Man, I wouldn't have gotten down payment on a house. That's so still worth it? Question mark. It's always okay. Yeah, yep. Just stacking more. Okay, fine. And then there's what else? Is this against the I don't know. Anyway, that somewhere in those responses I was like, you made a big mistake. Damn, that sucks. Okay. There's also Bitcoin for beginners, I think. Let's go that one. There it is. Bitcoin beginners got 1.2 million viewers in there, dude. It's crazy. Platform recommendations for noob. How can I find Bitcoin which was purchased almost a decade ago? Oh my gosh. Oh, forget it. Well, let's answer this one. Oh, I can't tap right now. Can someone explain why I should invest in Bitcoin? It's almost like read the Bitcoin standard. Come to your own conclusions. Nice. I gotta get in there. Hit him with the. Because saving in Bitcoin is like traveling back in time and giving yourself a perpetually increasing retroactive raise for the hours you've already worked for as long as you hold the Bitcoin that represents those hours. That's what I need to hit him with. And a gong. And an air horn. All right, that's enough. That's enough of that nonsense. Jeez. Looks like I can retire in some places now. Yeah, that's so rad. Man. Yeah, dude. All right, boys. Well, let's call it for today. It's been a fun Friday. I enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. I appreciate every single one of you guys for showing up and hanging out for a little bit. But as all good things, this one must come to an end. And slow and steady, we continue to stack Bitcoin here on the Stack Bitcoin Show, taking it one stack at a time and doing our best to stay true to the mission, right? The mission of buying Bitcoin, taking custody, and living our lives to the fullest. Hope you guys have a great weekend this weekend and do something fun, okay? Let me know what you guys do next week. I'll see you guys next week for another episode of the Stack Bitcoin Show. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Bye, guys.